Hello, it is British Redditor here, coming at you from a World War II bomb shelter. Thank you everyone so much who watched the last video, and to those supportive comments out there. Really made me want to do another video sooner, so here it is. What we have here is two posts from r/idontworkherelady. Personal support worker tries to bully me thinking I am a personal support worker. PSW is a personal support worker. It's like a nurse that comes to your house, does laundry, and helps with anything. Hello, I am a 24-year-old female who lives in a retirement home. Why I live here is due to my health. I'm having issues with my heart properly flowing blood to my brain. I live in Canada, and the whole process is taking months to properly diagnose. Why I was allowed to move into a retirement home was because of my health and how close the hospital is. It's not normal retirement home, it's more of an apartment complex for people over 60. I have not been able to do laundry for 3 months due to my health. I'm having issues with my balance. My husband has been doing everything around the house. I decided to try doing laundry for the first time in 3 months to try and build up confidence and take it slow. I started doing laundry downstairs in the shared laundry room at 9:40 AM at 10:15 AM. It costs $1.25 per load. I went down to get my laundry out of the washing machine to put it on the dryer, and there I was met with a PSW with her arms crossed.
I need to use this washing machine. My shift is shorter than yours, and I do not have enough time.
The rules are first come, first serve for the washing machine. It says it above the machine.
Who do you work for?
Excuse me?
Are you even a PSW?
No, I live here.
You are too young to live here.
I have been living here for 3 months now.
Well, you should know you're not supposed to use a washing machine Thursday at 10 AM because I use it. I'm treating sick people who can't do their own laundry, unlike you.
I then went upstairs for 20 minutes after putting my load in the dryer. I came back down after 20 minutes just to check on my load, and the machine was turned off. The PSW had turned my laundry off and my clothing was soaking wet. I had to sit downstairs for 40 minutes to make sure that she did not turn it off again. I tried having a nap to feel a bit better, when she came up to me and started yelling,
I have a short shift. I need the machines now.
I'm just finishing my load because it's soaking wet.
I have been doing this for 8 years, and here I have never had any issues.
You should contact the landlord then.
No, I'm going to put a note on the machine stating nobody is allowed to use these machines at this time.
The PSW then starts slurring angrily and yelling, I have a hearing disability, I do not understand you. She then proceeded to get out of my line of sight so I can't read her lips, and goes to my right side where my hearing is worse and continues talking. I do not hear her, so I shut my eyes and wait for my laundry load to finish. She had to wait an extra 20 minutes when she could have just let me finish drying. She did not even have a load to dry at the time either. I contacted my landlord and filed a complaint, and she said that it is a big no-no to touch other people's laundry and that she'll be contacting the PSW employer. Just some afterthoughts here. I know that the PSW was in the wrong here and she shouldn't have been touching other people's stuff. However, I also think that the OP is also in the wrong because she shouldn't have been down there at 10 AM if she wasn't allowed. That's just what my thoughts are. Now, that first one was a bit boring, so I decided to pick out a much nicer, longer, more exciting one, and it's called My Little Moment in Hell. Hey, first time poster here. This happened to me a while ago, and I thought you folks would get a kick out of it. I reported to work on this particular Monday, where I'm the site supervisor for an armed security account, only to discover that the blotted idiots that worked the night shift had only left me an empty coffee pot, a mortal sin, but had entirely cleaned me out of coffee, leaving me naught but an empty container devoid of much needed morning caffeine, the inconsiderate so-and-sos. Grumbling, I go off to the local market to buy some caffeinated goodness so to keep my heart beating through my busy day. Mind you, I am in uniform, which means black pants, dress shirt with my badge and various security emblems, my duty belt with firearm, baton, handcuffs, etc, etc. For the sake of those squeamish folk out there that go all white in the face when they see a firearm, I have also donned a windbreaker with security written across the back in 6-inch high day glow yellow letters. In other words, I looked nothing like any of the folk who worked at this market, whose uniform consisted entirely of green apron. Now, mind you, I probably could have handled this better, but I was grumpy. It was a Monday morning without coffee after all. So I am standing just inside the door of the market, reading the chalkboard where they have written their menu for the small cafe they run, when this entitled wench, hereby referred to as EW, on her cell phone, walks up to me, tries to hand me a slip of paper. Okay, I'm a bit confused, but I take it and give it a look. But as soon as I do, EW makes a little shooing motion and walks away and sits down on the bench by the door. Never says a word to me, doesn't even really look at me, barely acknowledges my existence and just walks off. So I'm kind of annoyed, you might say. I look at this piece of paper and it's a list of, you guessed it, groceries. What the hell? So I wander over and politely inquire as to what exactly this is and why she has seen fit to hand it to me.
My grocery list, of course. Fetch them for me. I'm in a hurry and I can't be bothered. I'm on a very important phone call.
And again with the shooing motion. Now, I've been going to this market for nigh unto 5 years, and I can assure you, they don't fetch your groceries for you. So after some consideration, I very carefully rolled her list into a tight little ball, dropped it on her lap, and loudly growled at her to get off her lazy ass and do her own damn shopping, turned around and walked off. I hear her screeching out something behind me, but I just ignore it and keep walking. Now, at this point, I am seriously thinking that EW just take the hint. See the Dayglow letters on my jacket and buy a clue. But oh no, EW is just not that smart. She instead chases me down, starts yelling about how she's going to get me fired, and I need to fetch her damn groceries right now. Trying to remain calm, I politely, honest, but forcefully tell her again, very clearly, I don't work here. Do your own damn shopping, lady, and leave. Thinking that's the end of it, off I go to get a cup of wonderful hot coffee at the cafe and then move on to the Isle of Heaven, where I am busily perusing their fine selection of lovely roasted goodness, when who should appear but EW with a gentleman in tow. She's loudly berating him about his lazy workers and demanding I be fired on the spot. The poor gentleman looks confusedly at me, then at her, and informs her, "He doesn't work here, we don't employ security, ma'am." Being a bit of a jerk, I wave at her, give her a big smile and agree with him. EW absolutely loses it, goes completely insane, starts screaming that I need to fetch her damn groceries right now or she is going to get us all fired, and she's an important person and how we will regret treating her this way, blah blah blah. The gentleman finally gets a word in edgewise and again informs her I don't work there, and I don't have to do anything for her. That is when I can see a dim little bulb go off in her head and can see a glimmer, tiny but there, of understanding begin to dawn in her eyes. This dim light, however, is quickly squashed by her overinflated sense of entitlement as she promptly replies in the snottiest voice possible, I kid you not, with,
"Well, he's obviously a menial of some sort. Make him."
To say this got me a tad riled up is perhaps an understatement, so I shoved a one-finger salute into her face and told her emphatically to go screw herself. The gentleman quickly got between us and loudly told her, in no uncertain terms, that 1, again, I did not work there, and 2, that she needs to get the hell out of the store right now. EW literally screamed at the top of her lungs. No words, just rage, and started demanding to see someone in charge so she can get us all fired and someone better get her damn groceries and how she was going to sue us all. Damn it, didn't we know how important she was? The gentleman, who I had naturally assumed was the manager, promptly got right back in her face and yelled over her that he was the owner, his family had owned the place for 20 years and they had never in all that time done someone shopping for them. Ever. He then grabbed her by the arm and literally dragged her off towards the front of the store. At that point, I was just shaking my head in disbelief, but I just went ahead, made my selection of fine coffees and wandered over to stand in line to pay for it. As I'm there at the register, the owner came out to me and actually apologised for EW's behaviour, and we shared a WTF moment. Actually ended up just laughing at how stupid EW was, or crazy, either way. He even tried to let me have the coffee for free, but I thanked him and told him it wasn't his fault that EW was a nut, and I was fine with paying for it. Now, you would think that that was the end of it. I mean, it was crazy, but weird stuff happens. People are idiots, whatever. But oh no, dear readers. It would appear that we had both underestimated the depths of EW's craziness, because as we walked out through the doors to the outside world, who, to our astonishment, was there waiting for us? EW, it turns out, had actually called police on us, and the dumb bitch was out there screaming at the officer demanding that we be arrested for not serving her, and how she wanted us both fired and she was going to sue, and that someone had better get her damn groceries right now, damn it! My jaw dropped. I don't mind saying it, and I was beyond shocked. I honestly started laughing at that point. This lady was certifiably nuts. Because of my job, we happen to work closely with the local PD, so I actually recognised the officer that had responded to the call and gave Officer Betsy a wave when she looked at me. She gave me a grin and walked over asking me about exactly what the hell was going on. We both gave her our side of the story and the owner asked that she be removed from the property, please, as she was at this point causing a scene. Betsy just rolled her eyes, walked over and told EW that she needs to leave right now, immediately, or she will be charged with trespassing. Now, you ever had that moment when you can see something bad start to happen, but your mind just can't quite believe it's actually occurring? Well, I saw it start. Clear as day, as EW reared back and started to go off again, and yup, there it was. She actually jammed her finger into Officer Betsy's sternum. Not once, but twice. Might have been a third time, but Officer Betsy had at that point picked her up, flipped her over, and dropped EW on her head. Landed on top of her, had her handcuffed in record time, got back up, opened her door, slid EW into the back of her patrol car, and slammed the door on her. And we all just stood there shaking our heads in total disbelief as EW started to scream and thrash about and kick at the windows of the squad car. She was still doing it as Officer Betsy drove off to the station too. Saw Officer Betsy later on that day, and she told me that EW was still throwing a fit when they got to the station and fought the officers there like hell until they ended up stuffing her into a control chair. She was later transported to the hospital for a psyche evaluation. No idea what happened to her after that. So that's my I don't work here lady. Hope you enjoyed. Wow, what a story to end on. That was awesome. Now, of course, the first time I read it, I thought it was fake. However, when I started recording myself, I actually think that an experience like this could exist in real life, and that's why I think it's real. Anyway, thank you so much all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I really appreciate the support. Thank you all, and I'll see you in the next video.